I don't know.
Full screen it.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? How's everyone's week been? This is the last session of the last day of the last business day of the free week, right here. Matt DeLong here, Jerremy Alexander Newsome on the microphone. How's everybody doing? We're broadcasting live from Nashville, and today is Friday, January 29th. So let's dive into it. Let me get my screen sharing going. My full screen. There we go.
Absolutely. And by the way, before Matt dives in, type of one if you've seen one of his amazing videos on our YouTube channel and you got inspired by his greatness. And type of two if you have no idea who he is. I'll go with either one, but all right, no twos, only ones. I got one. Dean Bradshaw has no idea who Matt is. Love it. Very cool, guys. Very, very cool. Well, what we're going to do today is Matt's going to walk you through his specialty, his skill set, being tactical, being precise, and being profitable. That's Matt DeLong in a nutshell. So there you go. Screen share turned on. So what is this list that you have over here, this afternoon room list? Is this what you're going to be looking at every Friday?
This is my list. So as some of you know, I actually have a list of 15 stocks that I review, and that's the only stocks I look at and trade. And it makes building a watch list super easy, right, Jeremy? Like I can skip the whole building a watch list because it's built every day. It's automatic. And I use a handful of strategies against this list all the time. And lots of meat on the bone either way.
Nice. So, awesome. Yep. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
So about the market, man.
Yeah, let's talk. How was everyone's January, right? How did everybody do? I think most RL traders were mildly / ridiculously profitable, right? So let's look at the SPY, which is our overall ETF index for the S&P 500. And you guys will notice that it was a little bit of a upper shadow here, kind of rejecting higher prices. We did kind of make a lower low. And nothing yet to be worried about. If you were to look at it on a weekly level, just a little bit of a smidge bearish, not the end of the world. But I can absolutely see us kind of retesting, kind of coming back down to this level, resting before we go higher. And this triangle is my best version of Jeremy's triangle that he drew earlier this week. So that is what we have on SPY. And you guys will see here that a pyramid is drawn, a triangle, and it basically is one of our strategies that we teach, which is basically you're trying to build a position on lower moves. So as the stock goes lower, maybe you want 100 shares, you want to buy 10 right here, right? Maybe you want to buy 20 here. You want to buy maybe 30 here. And then at this lower level, you want to buy 40. So you're slowly tippy-toeing in as the price goes lower, and you're building a really solid position. As the price goes lower, you're building a good cost basis. And so that is what I have on SPY. Next up is my favorite, the Qs. Similar position, similar look as SPY. We have an upper shadow being rejected, gapping down, right? It's a bearish gap and go. and it's nothing to be super worried about, but uh, it is on a weekly scale. It is kind of a bearish engulfing there just a little bit. So that is the cues.
Love it. Can you go back to the SPY really quick for me, Matt? Now, for those who are here live, type in a 7 into the chat pane. If you remember me saying on Tuesday that if we close below this hammer candle, things are going to get a little bit on the bearish side. Right. There's the 7s. Now we close above it on this day, which I believe was Tuesday. And then it was a bear candle gapping down, which is a retest gap, which means that on Thursday was the retest, and then today was the follow through. So if you did play some bear movement anywhere in here, congratulations. If you didn't, no big deal. I didn't really play that much bearish activity, but yes, I love what Matt's saying. As we go lower, I do expect some buying to come in, but we absolutely needed this dip, and I'm glad it's happening.
Right, and it's perfectly normal and healthy for pullbacks. I used to get super stressed when I had a whole bunch of open bullish swing trade positions and there's some big sell off. I used to get super stressed, but I think it's just part of the waves coming and going. It's just part of it, and you learn to work around it and hedge your positions as much as you can when possible. So the other thing that I noticed is we just got just a tiny bit more volume, selling volume today. Again, not the end of the world. As most of you have done hiking or steep terrain, you sometimes have to take a rest before going to new heights. And so that same thing applies here in the market. So next up is the Dow Jones, our diamond. So same thing, looks very similar to SPY and the Qs. Obviously had some lower, some more selling, some higher volume on the weeklies. Again, not the end of the world, something to be expected. And that is what I have on the diamond. So next up is AYX. AYX is on my 15. It's not my favorite right now just because it's been at and below this 200 simple moving average for a while. Most of you who've been trading with us for a while know that a 200 simple moving average acts like a long-term support, and it's okay to go below. It's not okay to hang out and stay below, but it is what it is. We have some short-term gains that we're able to lock in on some short-term moves, but this is AYX. Any thoughts on that, Jer?
I still have some positions on AYX, and I'm just intrigued to see what it does. What did this trigger? What did this trigger for you recently? Just the 10 EMA not too long ago?
It was MOMO. Oops.
MOMO. So are you in?
I am.
So when the green arrow popped up on your screen and it said exit short, enter long, you bought shares.
When it said exit short, enter long, yes. I actually used some automation that makes it easier, but yes, I did.
Nice.
And a live account as well, too. So
very cool. I love that.
Yep. And I'll teach this strategy here in just a sec for some of you guys who want to learn maybe a swing trading strategy that works really well and works on kind of in short-term bursts. So you're kind of following a trend. I'll show that to you guys here in just a sec. But yeah, that's what we have on AYX. Next up is BYND. Crazy gap up, and I didn't even catch the news on what happened here, but crazy volume. I actually was in this back, let's see, right here. So got in on my trigger here on what day was that? The 22nd, and it is rocketing higher. Oops, my drawing skills, Mr. Squiggles. Rocketing higher, selling off a little bit, maybe collect itself, get some sideways action before continuing higher. So we'll keep our eyes on that. I'm still in this. Obviously, you're never going to top tick any stock. A lot of people spend massive parts of careers trying to do something that's not necessarily possible or not even feasible. So that is BYND. Next up is CrowdStrike. So CrowdStrike, some of you guys are noticing this green triangle, and I use it on a couple different strategies, and the green triangle just makes it easy, right? And so if you are not sure when to enter, you just look for your green triangle, and what the play is you buy at the close. So most of you are familiar with day trading, where you're in and out in the same day. This is kind of like reverse day trading, where you buy at the close and you wait sometimes days or weeks to you put in a limit buy order at the close, and you find a good turnaround spot to put a stop. So it looks something like this. So the strategy itself is pretty simple. What it actually doesn't matter as much as you just look for your signals and you put in a trade. Now, obviously, on stocks that are trending well, you guys can see lots of green arrows over time that this would have worked really, really well. If my internet, yeah, okay. So lots of signals, lots of times you can get in on these signals. And if we were to let this play out a little bit, let's go a little faster. You'll see there's lots of signals, lots of meat on the bone, right? You don't necessarily have to go find brand new watch lists every day, every week. You can reuse the same ones and just nibble on that bone, just like chicken wings. There's always a little more on there, right? So again, not every single signal would have worked out depending on where you put your stop, but there's lots of 2R or more trades mixed in there using this strategy. And it's a strategy called the 10 EMA. So I'm going to grab the link real quick and I'll share that with you guys. So Dave, yes, that is a homegrown signal and it is coded into TradingView. Mm-hmm. Yep. And so you enter the order the last minutes of the trade day. So typically 3 to 5 minutes before the close. And what you want to do is just make sure as the candle is moving throughout the day, as it's forming up and down, you want to make sure that you're able to that the signal is going to stay there. So you'll see this as the price action moves around, you'll see this green arrow appear and reappear and disappear throughout the day. Yep. Is TradingView a requirement for joining the group? No, Ashish, great question. It is kind of a common platform since we all use different brokers. It's a common platform for us to use charting, our charting tools. It does help with some automation and some logic that we build that makes life easy. So it's not required. It is highly recommended though. Yep. And a lot of people use the free versions of TradingView, which is perfectly fine. If you want to use the free version, there are some features and tools that you will need to pay for to unlock additional things, but including like real-time rates, which is pretty cheap, guys. I mean, you're talking about what, $150 a year, something minimal. So most RLT traders are up 20, 30, 40 Rs this week, including myself. I'm sorry, this month. And it's just the cost of doing business. It's just a small price to pay for trading success. So, yep.
Yeah, one thing to mention for me is when I'm looking at CrowdStrike, something to keep in mind, team, and there's gonna be a few stocks on this list that look like that. Today was a little bit bearish. Therefore, the stocks that weren't, okay, the companies that held strong are going to be ones that really keep your eyes on for some potential bullish continuation next week or the week after. But one thing I always look for, if the market's really, really weak in general, and there's a bunch of selling or whatever happens in the NASDAQ, the Dow, the S&P, and then you have some outliers that are stronger, those are really, really good ones to keep your eyes on.
Right. Yep. Excellent. So this again is just a signal. Let me get the link real quick, and I'll share that with you guys. And again, you just need a TradingView account. I think this works with the free version as well. And I'm pasting that into the chat. Kristen, if we have time, we'll go back and look at that AFL. I'll just add it to a list. Okay, so any questions before we move on? Can you explain what an R is? Yeah, absolutely. So an R is basically just a way to manage your risk. Most trading companies, trading education companies, they don't really teach risk management. They teach, oh, go in full size, 10,000 shares, short it now, right? And so if you think about trading in terms of you want to place the same amount of money on all of the trades you do, when you win half the time and lose half the time, if you win 2R or 2 risk units, you can easily, 50-50 odds. If you lose 2R when you win and lose 1R when you lose. Typically what happens is 50-50 odds, you'll be profitable, right? So the idea is here in this example that we're looking at is we're taking a trade where we're entering at 215.64 and we're exiting, we have a stop loss at 293.21. So what is that? That's, let me do the math real quick. Minus 193.21 is 22.43. So we're basically, for every share, we're risking $22.43, right? That's kind of what we're risking. So if we have a $200 risk unit or a $2,000 risk unit, you can do the math to decide how many shares you're willing to buy, right? So if you want to have a $200 risk, you would purchase how many shares? Someone type in chat pane for me. 22.43 would be about 8 or 9. Yep. So 8 or 9 shares, right? So if you have a $2,000 risk, you would do 80 or probably about 85 shares. Yeah. Is that right? Let me double check that. $2,000 risk. And so the cool thing about an R is that it is a risk unit, and among our community, we're able to kind of compare scores, have a little bit of competitiveness, and everyone's account is a different size. So obviously brand new traders don't have the same size account as more experienced traders, but we're all able to have that common denominator of R's, which is a risk unit. And so myself, Jeremy, I trade a $2,000 R starting here in February, so next week. Jeremy, same thing. Some newer traders typically risk $50 or $100. And so that's just a common way to manage your risk. And it gives you a kind of a unique / odd number of shares when you're purchasing. So instead of buying 100 shares or 500 shares, you're buying 89 or you're buying 10 or 12 or 27. It's usually a unique number of shares. So that, hopefully that was helpful. Yep. Yeah, and typically it's 1% of your account. However, if you are a brand new trader and you have a big account like I did, you probably want it to be less. You don't want to be taking big bites out of your account as you're learning. And the idea is that your account and your skill level can kind of grow at the same time. That's the idea. You don't want to be a brand new trader with a big account, which is where I started, and I lost a big chunk of it, right? Lesson learned. But you do want to grow those at the same time. Your skill level and your account kind of grow in tandem. So yeah, that's the idea.
Love it. Great explanation, Matt. Thank you so much. Next on the list, Data Dog.
Data Dog.
This one's been strong today. I know Craig Levine snagged some trades on this one today.
Yep, nice. So the trading strategy that we're using here give us a signal to buy at the close. So an ideal trade would be, buying at the close. We've already closed, but those of you who have the ability to trade after hours, you can certainly throw an order to buy here. Let's see, limit buy, something like this, right? And again, the difference between these two lines is like a 1R. So if you get triggered in here and you go down here, you would lose 1R. So if you're risking $100, you would lose $100. Now the ideal setup is something like this, where if you win 2R, you're able to make $200, right? So you're risking 100 to make 200. And that's kind of the 2-to-1 ratio, 2-to-1 odds that most people look for, at least when they're placing swing trades. So a lot of these trades can work out over days, weeks, or months. A lot of people are a little bit impatient with trying to get in and out. A lot of day traders kind of struggle with transitioning into swing trading. But that's what I love to do, is I love to teach day traders that if you're struggling, maybe you're a closet swing trader, right? So I spend 37 less hours trading than the average day trader, 37 hours a week less trading than the average day trader, because I was a closet swing trader and I came out of the closet, right? So I used to struggle with day trading and I decided that's not necessarily my thing. And so here we are.
It's so funny.
Yep. So this is Datadog, and typically what I recommend is, as stocks have this up and down movement, when you look for a turnaround or like a U-turn movement like this, is kind of where you want to place your stop below. Now, most brand new traders, including myself, would put it right there, right, like a penny away or right on it. And you want to give it some kind of room, right? You don't want some kind of sucker punch to the gut where it bounces off this and continues higher without you, where you got triggered into the trade here, kicked out of the trade there, right? So that's the idea. Yep. And so that is what I have on Datadog. Next up is Elastic, just hanging out, right? You guys can see that there's, let's see, there's some kind of action going on here, right through here. Again, we're kind of bouncing off a little bit of the 50-day moving average, which is my green line. And that is Elastic. Nothing really to do here. It's just consolidating. It is making like a little bit of a pennant pattern, some lower highs and some higher lows. So any thoughts on this one, Jer?
I really like this hammer. I like the lower shadow. I like this compressing. This one has had a lot of strength recently. Type of 2 into the chat pane. If you can see an absolutely ridiculously perfect double bottom that occurred not too long ago. All right. A lot of 2s. And just in case you haven't seen it, there it is. Right. We actually did play that. A lot of RLT traders, a lot of real life traders played that. And this is one that's been on the list for a while. Also, I mean, with Matt's entry right here with the green arrow, pulling up your charts, is it a green arrow or not? You know, getting in there, I feel like would have been really profitable, you know, going from 148 a share to 172 a share, right? Making that new high. That's when I like to sell. So when stocks like really retest and pull back, I'll buy some dips, and when they make new highs, I sell. Buy dips, sell rips, buy low, sell high. So right now we're coming back down to a low level. Absolutely keep your eyes on this one. Watch out for that green arrow, and when it comes in, snag it and bag it.
Yep. Next is Fastly. Fastly is one of my favorite stocks. I actually have this in my 5-year time capsule. So I'll show you guys that in just a second. Fastly kind of making an inside day candle, nothing super exciting. Lower volume the past few days. It is what it is. It did reject this higher price a few days ago. The difference between here and here in my account was some dollars, the high and the low, but I'm holding this for a longer term. So I'm going to say no to some gains and the attempts to hold and continue and get some more R's. So that's what I have on Fastly. Fastly is one of my favorite companies, just because they are still smaller than these massive software companies. They're growing. Let's take a look at them. Actually, let's look at Fastly, FSLY. Let's take a look. So one of the things I like is I typically like 30% revenue growth every quarter. You guys can see that growing nicely. And the PS ratio is a little bit high, but the sales, right, it's not a massive hundreds of billions of dollars, kind of like an Apple would be. And they have a reasonable amount of revenue, and having 200 million. How many of you guys have ever had, type a 7 in chat pane, if you've ever had a small business, you've ever been a owner of a small business or a CEO of a small business? Yep, lots of 7s. So how would you guys like to have 267 million in annual revenue and still growing 41% a quarter, right? Yeah, yes, please.
Sign me up.
Yep.
Drive through window.
So RLT is will be there very, very soon, right? 267.
That's right. That's right.
So,
of course.
Yep, that is Fastly. So next up is Mongo, another one of my favorites.
Ooh, so, look at that candle on Wednesday. Wow.
Yep. So this is kind of like a high wave, and this could be like an indecision where you're not sure what to do. If it breaks lower, breaks higher, lots of different ways to play that. As you guys see yesterday, did give us an entry right here, a signal to get in bullish. So if you were to do that, you could do something like this, where you have a limit entry here, limit buy with the stop down here. And again, we're putting our stop in a place where we have like this U-turn, right? Where we have a lower move and then it continues higher. And so that's where we would place a stop. And that is Mongo. Next up is NVIDIA. I've actually had some call options on this, Jeremy, that didn't go my way.
Nope.
It's been going sideways for several months. You guys can see it's kind of channeling, kind of going sideways. You get the signal to jump in, then nope, we're going lower. And you guys can see that a little bit of an exaggerated move through here, just chopping around, right? Hitting our head on the resistance, support again, right? You guys can see it's kind of just going sideways. So I do, my automation does play this, and I'm just we'll see what happens. But hopefully we'll make a move one way or another and give us an idea of which direction it wants to go. But again, it's going sideways. If you wanted to obviously buy off the support here, today, tomorrow, or Monday, not a bad place to buy. Maybe tippy toe into some shares. Maybe set up a little pyramid where you're going to buy at different levels, right?
Yeah.
Where you're buying a little here, little more here, and a little more here. And again, my example before was with 100 shares. Maybe here you just want to buy 10 shares because it was in the $500 range. So maybe you just buy one here, two here, three here, and four here. So you get your 10 shares, right, at different levels. And as the price goes lower, you're getting a little bit more shares stacking up, right? So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 would give us our 10 shares, right? So nothing super exciting about NVIDIA, just kind of hanging out. If we were to look at it on our longer term moving averages, it is kind of below the 100, and it's not quite pulled back. It's got a ways to go before it hits the 200 simple moving average. Thoughts on this, Jer?
Yeah, man. So tell me, when for either your MOMO or 10 EMA strategy, when do you abandon the campaign and go, all right, it's been too sideways for too long, let me just wait for a breakout?
Yeah, so I do trade the 10 EMA manually. MOMO is automated, so it's able to it's able to make those in and out decisions all the time. So if we were to look at it on MOMO, you'll see it's got even more chop. You guys can see get in, get out, no, get in, get out. And so it's the automation will take a small loss getting in and getting out and going different directions. However, if you look at let me move back a little bit more. What you're trying to look for are these bigger moves, right? And so if you're trend following, if you're trying to follow the trend up or down, you want to get in and then it continues higher. And so these are the nice explosive moves that you're looking for. And the chop, these are little paper cuts along the way, but the idea is you want to be in before it makes these huge moves. So yeah, and a couple of these were just very small losses, right? So on this one right here, we entered here and exited here. So just a little bitty, small loss. Yeah.
Got it. So what you're saying is you don't turn it off. You just stick to it and just let it chop you up, but you have tiny losses when it happens.
Yeah, small paper cuts. Yeah. And the idea is you really want, it's kind of like if you think about surfing. So if any of you guys went surfing, where you have to kind of paddle out and you need to get the momentum going, and you need to be in before the wave really peaks, right? You get that nice ride, get some good forward momentum, right? And that's the idea here with this. Yep. So that is NVIDIA. Next is Pinterest, one of my favorites.
Nice. And I like this one a lot because who can tell me why based on the candles? Mo says we got a hammer. We do have a hammer. Yep. Harold says didn't go lower. Taskia says wicked pair. Inside candles. All these are true. But make it easy. Market was really, really down today, and Pinterest was up.
It held up. Yep. Held up nicely. That wasn't a tweezer bottom almost. 10 cents.
Love it, man.
Yep. So that's Pinterest. Kind of just hanging out. If we were to look at on a longer term, again, it's quite a ways away from its moving average. I really like Pinterest long term. My daughters, I have two teenage daughters, they're 18, 19, and they send me their Christmas lists on Pinterest. That should be all you need to know as a father, is just, that's it. Be bullish, right? So next up is Peloton. So if we switch over to our kind of our shorter term, Peloton's kind of chopping around a little bit. It's kind of consolidating before it makes another move up or down. Peloton is one of those that you guys can see here, lots of signals to get in, lots of R's to be made. Depending on where you draw your lines here, where you would have got in and out, it may have been chopped up a little bit recently. However, lots of meat on the bone, lots of future potential with Peloton. And I don't know how high this goes. I really don't know. Do you know, Jeremy? Does this go to 300 next week? Like game 7,000 next year? Like game? I don't know.
It does not go to 300 next week or 7,000. I do think it hits 300. The question is in the next year or two. By the way, is this part of your time capsule? Because I think you
Peloton is not. No.
Tell us about this time capsule, because
Sure.
I know Roku is in it.
Roku is in it, absolutely. So I have a time capsule that I opened, I think it was December 7th. Yep. So December 7th, I basically took my 5 favorites on my 15 list, which is Pinterest, Fastly, Mongo, and Roku, and CrowdStrike. And I basically just bought 20,000 of each of these, right? And so the idea is the time capsule, I'm going to open it in 5 years from now and see what it's worth. So I started this December 7th, and it's going to, right here, you'll see December 7th, I bought some odd number of shares, roughly 20,000 each. And it's up, it was actually up almost 30%, like a week and a half ago, and gave back a little bit of gains. But at the end of the day, I'm fine with letting this ride and letting this continue. And the idea is we'll see what happens. Think of it like a 5-year experiment. In December 2025 is when we'll see what it's worth. And Jeremy and I are kind of taking a bet on what we think this will be worth. 5 years from now, no one really knows for sure. Does meteorite hit the earth? And who knows? We have bigger problems, right? So lots of things can happen over the course of 5 years. Yep. Mo thinks there'll be 1 million. Yeah, could be. Yep. Yeah.
I want to go on the down thumb on the meteorite. If we can, let's not do that.
Yeah, let's not have that. Yeah. Yep. And the idea too is, I put 20,000 each of these stocks, 100,000 total. And I fully expect at least once, maybe twice in the next 5 years, this whole entire thing will go red, which is fine, right? You got to practice your holding muscles. And so I fully expect this to go lower. Now, if you are wise and astute and you're listening carefully to what I'm saying, nothing wrong with following along in the time capsule. Maybe you're buying at these same price levels. Obviously, it's not necessarily recommended that you jump into these all right now, just all in, because some of these are up 20, 30%, right? And if it pulls back 26 to 30%, for me, I would be back to break even. You would, if you jump in here, you'd be down 20, 30%. So there's something to think about, but there's nothing wrong with having maybe some puke orders open at some of these price levels to jump in and kind of follow along. Obviously, you don't have to use the same number of shares, the same dollar amount that I'm using. You can put $1,000 into each of these. Do whatever makes sense. So that is my time capsule. Yep.
Love it. Thanks for sharing.
Pinterest, Mongo, Roku, CrowdStrike. Yes, sir.
And you also actively trade those as well.
I do. Yep.
Amazing.
So that's like a separate account. And the idea is I'm not going to touch it. So I don't even have it linked with my other accounts, just because I don't want to be tempted to, let me, put a collar on it. Let me sell some covered calls. Let me do this. Let me do that. So, yeah.
Got it. And then what a beautiful run up. By the way, there's a few people that did very well in this, like a little move right here. It doesn't look like a lot, but that's $100 a share, ladies and gentlemen. 100. That could be life-changing money. That could be New Island money if you were playing Roku. Type in a 6 if that helped your portfolio in January. Taskia, I know, absolutely crushed it. Doug got it. John Wage got it. Shawnee Stevens got it. Well done, squad. That was awesome. Good trade. Good trade.
Yep. So again, the most recent signal was here. Lots of meat on the bone to give us signals to get in over the past probably a good year. Yeah, and as long as the blue line is above the green line, you're going to get these little signals. So as long as the 10 EMA is above the 50, and then we're looking for a specific pattern to occur, boom, get in. So obviously getting in like at this level here with the stop here, some R's, some gainage, right? Definitely life-changing dollars. Okay, next is Shopify, one of my favorites. It is kind of chopping around for a good while. This is one I don't have any current positions on at this moment. Shopify is actually not in my time capsule, Jeremy. I think you probably noticed that, right? It's not in here.
Yep.
It is a cool company. I actually used to have a software company that competed against Shopify. We're getting our rear ends handed to us. So some guys in Nashville are like, hey, I want to buy this from you. I'm like, you're going to pay me money to take my headache away from me? Yes. Yes, please. You know, so cool. Lots of kind of chop. You guys can imagine some resistance here, some support here, and broke out on this day with some higher volume. And it's kind of just holding that level, right? So previous resistance, new support, right?
Yeah.
So that's Shopify.
I love it. I love it, man. And I really do like that. I like this company long term. I do have an 840 put sale on it as well.
Ooh, let's look at some put sales on this thing.
Yeah. 840 over earnings.
Ooh, yeah. So you're down here. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So put sale is another strategy that we teach here at RLT. And the idea is you're selling insurance against a lower move, right? So someone has maybe they've got a nice gain in their account on the stock through this move. And they go on vacation, come back a week later, and they've kind of given up half the move already, like given up their unrealized profits. And so Jeremy is basically saying, hey, I'll guarantee this level as insurance. Anything below it, I will eat it. And you pay a premium. You pay some kind of dollar amount to have insurance. We all know how car insurance works. And that's the idea. Yep. And so you provide insurance at the 840 level in Jeremy's case. And you usually have, what was your, was it February or March? What was your time expiration, Jeremy?
Oh, sorry. This is regular February expiration.
Okay. Yeah. So you got about a month, about 3 weeks-ish.
Yeah. It's already about 40% evaporated. So if I might buy it back pretty soon.
Yeah. Get a nice pop in the next couple of days, next week.
Yep.
Be 50%.
Yep. But keep your eyes on this one for sure. And again, for those, there's a few people who are asking in the chat pane, and this is kind of like the flow for Fridays is you have Matt DeLong Fridays where he goes over his list and we simply talk about what stocks we're in, why we're in them, what setups to play, which automation have triggered. And I would be remiss if I did not say that I feel like personally, at least 50 or 60% of the real life traders made the majority of their money from Matt's strategies in January, being a really good swing trader and just being in great positions over the last few days. January was a record trading month for so many traders. So again, Matt, thank you for what you do.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah. By the way, quick question, guys. And again, just for those of you who are not already a part of real life trading, just to get a clear understanding, does anyone have any reservations or questions either myself or Matt can help with before you make your decision on if you want to continue with this journey and if you feel like this is an adequate spot for your learning experience? So I'm just going to pause here for 3 or 4 minutes, if that's okay, Matt, just to get some questions because we have 20 minutes left. And after this, that's it. We go back to regular scheduled programming, which looks just like this. It won't be free anymore. So I just want to make sure that you guys had any questions and see if you need anything from me. Franco says, nope, I am in. All right. That's cool, man. But yeah, I thought you were already in. Weren't you already here? What are you in on? I know you're already in, but I love you being in, man. I love you always being here. I think it's an incredible opportunity and love trading with you. Mo says, in it to win it. Allison says, I've been here since August, just signed up for the free year. Oh, wow. For the year. Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. Zachary says, if you're serious about trading, be here. It's amazing. Yes. Totally agree. Perfect. That works. Perfect. That's great. Kaylin Power says, is the day trading room a good place to learn or should I learn more before joining? Well, that's a good question. Let's just kind of go through a little bit about what we have to offer just so that you guys are really familiar with it. You're comfortable with it. This is the part that I'm sure most of you are wondering about because for me, it's really our mission. This is bigger than a company. This is bigger than about money. This is more about how you and me Matt DeLong, Robert Falco, Johnny, Tracy Ball, Tony, Arabia, Zochi, Dean Bradshaw, Dan Jansen, everyone on the Real Life Trading team. This is about how we can take a group of human beings and turn them into a movement, turn it into a direction, a specific focus on how we can change the financial educational system in America. Type in a 4 if you're with me on this. We feel like not nearly enough people are taught this in school. They're taught this in college. They're taught this in middle school, high school, kindergarten, elementary school, university level. This should be something that's taught everywhere. And that's why we're doing it. And we do have education that is absolutely free, but at some point you're going to want it to invest in your future. You're going to want to invest in yourself. I know everyone here wants to create extra income. I know everyone here wants to pay off debt and achieve financial freedom. I think we can help you do that. So if you are interested in doing this, you have to ask yourself, are you interested or are you committed? Because there's a one part going like, yeah, I want to do it. And I'm going to do it for like 2 or 3 weeks and then you give up. But I don't want those people. I don't want to trade with those people. I want to trade with people that love this, that dream in candlesticks. I want to work with people like Robert Falco, who just loves to look at charts and be there and analyze and just think about the markets on a day-to-day basis because we want to change the world. You can change the world with stock trading. This is the most liquid instrument on planet Earth. And at Real Life Trading, we do talk about day trading. We talk about swing trading. We discuss long-term retirement investing, stocks and options, futures trading, algo trading, right, which is algorithm. You heard Matt mention a few times that he has automated trade systems. We have over 100 traders who have totally automated trading systems. Type in a 6 if that sounds cool. Automated trading systems where you don't have to do anything on that day. You can come in and check and see what they did, what they bought, how they sold. All of that can be automated. And a part of your education with RLT, you're going to get community support, right? You're going to get to hang out with people like my good buddy, Zach Bruno. So I first met Zach, and Zach, I'm going to give you a shout out for just a second, man. I really connected a lot with Zach at the Nashville Trading Retreat. He came down, his family came down, his wife and children, they all came down from the north. They came down to Nashville, Tennessee, and he was committed, right? He was committed to a lot of things. He was committed to his family. He was committed to his martial arts practice. He was committed to real life trading. But someone that has a job, someone that has a family, someone that has so much going on still took the time to come down and invest in himself. And I feel like there are so many people out there just like Zach that have families, that have jobs, that have responsibilities, that have weights on their shoulder, but it doesn't matter how busy you are if you make anything in your life a priority. If you schedule the time to do this, if you schedule the direction to do this, if you really want to pour into your heart and soul, we give you all the resources that are required for you to learn and for to grow, like printable workbooks, quizzes, review, final exams, certifications of completion. This is all part of our trading education. You will get access to the RLT community where you can build personal relationships because we know trading is kind of boring sometimes. So the day trading room, some of you have been a part of that. It's only $2.99 a month. That's it. No contracts. You can cancel. It's a money back guarantee. Most people actually don't. But if you do not like the service, I will give you your money back. You can have my cell phone number. I will not take your money. I am not someone of a greedy, heart-centered nature. I, myself, everyone on this team, we are here for you. We try to offer amazing customer service. We will call you on the phone. We will pour into your soul. We will know your family on a level that only your best friends will know because we care about you. The people here truly, truly care. I was having a conversation with Tony today. Tony was one of our traders who started in your exact seat where you are right now, in front of your screens, in front of your laptops, with a job that he did not like. And Tony took the trading that RLT provides, took the swing trading room, which you're a part of right now, which is only $199 a month. He took this knowledge, he took the application of spending time, energy, resources, and a little bit of money. And what Tony did was revolutionize his entire life for him and his wife. He quit his job. He trades full time. And I'm so proud of him, man. This month, Tony made more money trading the stock market than he made in an entire year at his job. Just in January, already so far. He was sharing that with me in the beginner's room today. It was amazing. It's phenomenal to see that capability, and we all have that capability. We can all do this, but there is a moment that we have to make the decision. When do we want to go forward and actually do something that's uncomfortable, do something that's scary, do something that we're not sure about? This is that moment right now. So if you want to be a part of this movement, this is the link to do so. Matt will send it out in the chat pane. We will offer a yearly membership if you would like to. If you want everything, if you are committed to this, if you want to be in this full force, it's only $39.95 a year. And again, team, if you go 3-4 weeks and you just absolutely hate it and it's not for you, we'll give you your money back. It's okay. The testimonials speak for themselves. At the end, if you really care, Matt will show you person after person after person after person that made 5 figures this month from the stock market. It's possible. It's possible. It can be done. Do not think that you're not good enough, smart enough, or rich enough. You have the ability to do this. It's just going to take time, leadership, and a wonderful community. And I personally feel like we have assembled that at Real Life Trading with everyone who is here, with everyone who spends night after night to be at webinars and conferences and telemeetings and Zoom meetings and Slack meetings and team meetups. This is a spot for you. We've built an incredible company. We've built an incredible, even better movement, and I want you to be a part of it. So that's really all I wanted to say. I appreciate you guys so much being here. And if you do an annual subscription, I'll give you a copy of my book as a big thank you, which is an Amazon bestseller. It's called Money Grows on Trees. So I didn't mean to derail you, Matt, but if you guys have any questions, just for 2 or 3 more minutes, does anyone have any specific questions just about what you might receive, what you think you might receive, what we can help you with, what we can do for you? Morgan says, do you leave your after hours stocks on to set up swing trades? Yes, absolutely. You totally can do that. Absolutely.
What's funny, Jeremy, is a lot of people, they're a little hesitant to join something like this, but they don't think anything about dropping $50,000 a year on a college education that doesn't really teach them a whole lot of much of anything. And I say that having a daughter in at a local university right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Or a car. Or a car. Like, I mean, who here has bought a vehicle in the last 3 years and you're spending more money on your vehicle than you're spending on your mental education?
Yep.
It's an asset that we can't tangibly hold. And that's what I'm afraid of when I buy things, is that initial fear is like, oh, wait a minute, what am I getting? Like, I can't touch it. I'm buying something that goes in here. Like, how do I measure that? And, you know, it's scary, but it's fair. It's a fair question. Matt says, if I have time on the end, I'd like to bring you on, Taskia. Yeah, that'd be really great. That'd be really great. Mo says, guys, I joined in November looking for training materials online. There are so many scams, but I haven't learned so much from this group. The trading will cover your membership costs. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. Absolutely. Tanya says, I came in from Australia. Are the rooms recorded? Yes, ma'am, they are. We record the afternoon room. And if you're from Australia, we actually have a full Australian branch called Real Life Trading Australia. By the way, for all my Aussies, type in a 3 into the chat pane. Give Tanya some love. I know there's a few of you already here. So there you go. Isn't that cool, Tanya? So yeah, we have some beautiful traders already down there that work with Real Life Trading Australia, and my best friend in the entire world, Ricky Cadden. I love this man with my whole heart. He's an incredible human being. So guys, team, I would love to see you on Monday. And if you have any questions between now and then, reach out to me. But that's pretty much what I wanted to say. So thank you guys. You rock.
All right, taking over the screen share.
Yeah, brother. Let me stop sharing. Jill, there you are, Jill. How's it going, girlfriend? By the way, guys, Jill's been with me since day one.
Really?
Day one. Love you, Jill.
Cool. All right, so let's look at a few more, and I have a little quick strategy session I'll do with you guys. So the next one is Teledoc. Teledoc, as you guys can see, massive explosive gains. Here's our signals to get in, going higher, pulling back a little bit. Let's look at our longer term moving averages. It's fairly extended away from our moving averages, so this would be a good stock to maybe build a little pyramid in, right, where you're buying a little bit here, a little more here, a little more here, and then a little bit more here, right? And so as the price goes lower, we're adding more and more and more shares. So I don't see anything yet to do on Teladoc. We did make a little bit of a lower low yesterday, but we closed up just 99 cents. I heard a comedian one time, he said, I find dollar stores are way too expensive. I prefer the 99-cent stores.
Is that Mitch Hedberg?
No, I'm trying to think of his name. Is an older comedian.
Got it. I had a joke not similar to that at all, but the joke would be something to the extent of, hey, everyone, blah, 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 at the end of the day. So I make six figures. I was very young at the time, and everyone kind of laughed. I was like, if you include, the decimal and then the 2 pennies on the side. Anyway.
Yeah, that's nice. That's awesome. Cool. So one of our favorite RLT, very bullish on Tesla. Got a little bit of a selling day with a little bit of higher volume.
That baby's pulling back.
It is. I can easily see maybe a little bit of a lower move, rest a little bit, and continue higher. So,
hey Matt, I feel like your MOMO went short a few days ago, though.
You did.
That's so weird.
So here is MOMO.
Oh wow, it went bearish. Huh.
Yep. So again, this is one of the strategies we teach. MOMO is a nickname, like a shortened version of momentum, like a momentum trade. And the idea is we're waiting for a trend to develop, and then we're just following the trend. It's super easy. I can show you guys that real quick if you're interested. Let me grab the link real quick if you want to add it to your trading view. Again, our gift to you. It does take hours and hours and hours to build this stuff. Again, we're not necessarily here to make money. We're here to enrich lives. So we'll give that to you, whether or not you ever join. There is a link in the chat pane if you are interested in adding that to your trading view. And actually was in this. My automation was in this. It got in right here at the close. And the way that this strategy works is we're using a unique time frame. Now, I just became aware that 78 minutes obviously is not a normal time frame, but I was made aware that you can't actually add custom time frame unless you have a premium account in TradingView. I didn't even know that. I have a premium account, but it is a custom time frame. And so typically what you would do is you would add 78 minutes down here, and it adds a new custom time frame, and that's how the strategy works. And so what this does is we're looking for the green shaded area or the red shaded area, and we're looking to decide whether or not we want to go bullish or bearish. And when our green line is above our red line, we get a signal when they crisscross. We get this signal here to exit short, enter long. Automation kind of rode this all the way up to here. So obviously, if you're manually trading, you could exit all the way up here, maybe at highs. Maybe you can do that, spend some time, and get a little bit better trade, a little bit more meat on the bones. However, this trade, the way that it worked is we entered here and we exited at the close of this candle right here. Right. So we got to ride that whole wave up. Again, when we're talking about momentum and trend following, we don't necessarily have to even predict which way the stock's going to go. We just go with it one way or another. And you guys will see that it kind of was it changed its mind a little bit. It said, oh, let's go short. No, let's go long. Let's go short. And so you do get chopped up a little bit. Obviously, whatever little small paper cuts I made through, I lost through here was more than made up with this move higher. So that's the idea on MOMO, on trend following. And for those of you who aren't in TradingView, who don't use this tool, the green line is an 8 exponential moving average. And again, it's on the 78-minute chart. The red line is a 21. So we'll say green equals 8 EMA, 21 equals red EMA. And that is, that's basically, red equals 21 EMA. And that's it. There's not a lot to it. It's a very easy to automate strategy, just because you You know when to get in, when to get out, when to go short, when to go long. In my case, I trade this strategy right now just because of given current market conditions. I just trade long only. So when I get a exit signal, I'm just exiting. I'm not jumping in bearish. So those of you who do, you can obviously use that for puts. If you want to use trade options, you can buy some puts. And then MOMO gave the signal, I guess it was back yesterday, on Tesla, which are moving average cross. We got this little signal, boom, go lower. So just because the market has been so crazy bullish, I mean, I don't know that it pays to be bearish right now, at least. You might make some small gains. Obviously, it's a counter trend trade, so you don't want to hold on to it for a super long period of time. But that is what I have on Tesla. Any questions on that?
Most people want to know why 78 minutes. And my
Yes.
answer is so that it has exactly 5 candles in the day. Because as you all know, if you use an hourly chart, theoretically, the U.S. market's not open a precise amount of hours every single day since it opens at 9:30 Eastern. So 78 minutes splits up into exactly 5 candles. Wizardry math, folks. Wizardry.
So if you have something like a daily, the U.S. market is open 6.5 hours a day on, as Jeremy said, an hourly. That last candle isn't really a full hour; it's a half hour. So it gives you even number of candles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this right here would be the daily, like the daily candle. Yep. Okay, so again, I'm waiting for some more pullback so I can get in some pretty heavy Tesla. I heard my boy Craig Levine did pretty well with Tesla. It's amazing to have some open swing trades and making some gains while you're on a private island in BVI, right? We're talking hypothetically here, right, Jeremy? So that is Tesla.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I do think it's going to go down a little bit more, guys. So
Yep.
Get ready, get those diamond hands ready. She's coming lower for you to buy.
Yep. And it didn't make that crazy of a move after earnings. Usually earnings moves are typically kind of wild on this. This one, not too bad. So next is Twilio. So Twilio is a communications platform. Lots of green arrows to jump in. In this case, if you were to look at this candle right here, kind of a high wave candle, wait for a break higher, continuation, and going higher again. So that is a strategy that we teach, is basically an indecision candle, a candle that could go higher, could go lower, and you have orders waiting to get filled if it pushes higher using something like a stop limit order. You get triggered, goes lower, and it continues higher. So that is Twilio. Next is CLSK. Lots of rejected higher pricing here on CLSK. Our strategy we'll see what happens on Monday, but if we close above the blue line on Monday, we're going to get a green arrow to jump in. So let's watch that tomorrow. I keep thinking it's Friday. We'll watch that for Monday. Put that on the list for Monday. Next up is VLDR. VLDR chopping, going sideways. It did kind of bounce a little bit off of the 50 moving average, which is my green line here. Yep. And PayPal, we have an open swing trade right now on PayPal. We almost, we Harry Pottered on that one. So that was on PayPal. Actually, I apologize, Jeremy. We did not even get into that until we did. We gapped down. So we got a little bit better fill on that one than in our swing trade. Next is AFL. You guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Aflac, was it the duck or the goose? So entry, stop. So we'll see what happens on these, ladies and gentlemen. Any questions?
Love it, man. So those were ones that were requested, right? VLDR and Aflac.
Yes, these were special requests.
Beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. Fantastic.
Do we have 3 minutes to bring a special guest on?
Yeah, of course. We got plenty of time.
You guys want to hear from one of our traders who was literally inches away from quitting. Literally. She had enough. And we'll let you hear her story.
And then she turned into a badass warrior.
Yes, she didn't quit. Taskia, are you there?
I am. Hi.
Tell us where you live, Taskia. Where are you from?
Hi, everybody. My name is Taskia. I am from Canada, Toronto. I mean, a little outside of Toronto, but it still counts. And yeah, I've been in RLT for the last almost 6 months now. And it's the best decision I've made for myself, for my family, for my baby. It's just, I just could never think that my life would turn around in less than 6 months. The first 2 months that I was in RLT, I had no idea about stock trading that much. I've lost close to 30, 40 hours. And it took me so long to save that money. I messaged Jeremy, I messaged Matt, I'm like, I cannot even afford the swing room. I don't think I could do it. And they've spent so much time to talk me into not quitting, because I was ready to go. Jeremy was like, don't do it. Listen, you've made so much progress. I'm so proud of you. Don't do it. And even then I would like cry and tell my husband that I can't do it. And no, I'm just so happy that none of you let me make that horrible decision of quitting, because without that, I wouldn't be able to. I mean, this month has been insane. I made like, I don't know, 80, 90 hours. It's
80?
It's insane. It's been a great month.
Oh my.
You lost 30 R in 2 months and you made 80 R back this month. Yeah. Wow.
And that's just not counting December and November. So
oh my gosh.
This is coming from somebody who saved up money for like the last 10 years, and it wasn't a lot. I have a very, very small account, and now I don't even worry about money anymore, because it's just a tool to get what you want. As long as you know the how, you don't have to worry.
Woo! That's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. And not just Taskia, but tell us about your family. You've been a little recruiting weapon for us.
I've been messaging my neighbor. My brother is on RLT now. My dad, my best friend, she's actually doing the first beginner classes now. She has 2 kids. She has a house to manage, but she's doing it, and I'm so proud of her. And I want everybody to just come in here and learn, because it's been the best thing that ever happened to all of us. And my husband's trading with me too now, which is great.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
We have a family trading group on WhatsApp. It's insane.
Yeah, that's amazing. And the other cool part about a community, ladies and gentlemen, is it is sometimes lonely if you have a spouse or significant other who does not get trading. There, like my wife would say, oh, I hear wow, like the peanuts, right? When I start talking about trading, it's I don't understand it, good for you. Can I go shopping? No, I'm kidding. But typically that's a very lonely thing. And when you have a community that's supportive, it certainly allows you to grow. And we do have people that cancel and say, I don't have time to do this, which is fine, and that's where Taskia was. She was ready to cross that line, ready to give up. And we pull her back in, and she helps us with, she's obviously a little recruiting tool for us, right? She does an amazing job.
Oh, so much. Taskia, you help us so much. I absolutely have to say thank you. Thank you as well.
Oh yeah, no problem. It's my pleasure. And I just do it because I love you guys.
Hey. And we were able to, Taskia, I think we threw some extra like training, personal one-on-one, like stuff your way, right? That helped you get back on track. We didn't charge you, right? Like it was we want to help you succeed kind of a thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm so thankful for that. It's just been absolutely amazing. And yeah, if anybody is on the verge of deciding, like try it out. And it's just amazing. Like I think your life will change in a month. If not a month, maybe 2 months, but give it some time.
Give it time, ladies and gentlemen. Success feels like, success comes 2 weeks after you feel like giving up. We all have that moment. Doesn't matter how much money you have. There will always be a time you're like, I got to throw in the towel. It's just too hard. It's too much work, too much late nights, too much time spent. You're going to get this. You're going to get this.
Yeah.
I promise.
Yeah. And what I'd love to see is everyone who can, even if you can't necessarily join our group, go through the free classes that we offer, right? Like practice, back trade, like get up to speed, get some knowledge, get some fundamental basic understanding. And then when you're ready, come back and join, even if you're not able to join now. And so our big vision is to reach millions of people, and we can't do that alone. We want plenty of you to get filled up so that you can overflow and to pour into other people's lives. So yeah, man, I'm super excited about our future. And RLT is not a company. It's absolutely a movement, right? You guys feeling that? It's not, we're not like the slick, jet ski, bikini babe Ferraris. And you see that we're the minivans and the private islands, right? That's
yeah. I mean, build up wealth, build up wealth. And then time comes and you got to make some big moves.
Yeah.
Minivans and private islands. That's it. That is it.
Yep.
I love it. Team, thank you so much from around the world. We appreciate you, Taskia. Thank you, Robert Falco. Thank you. Matt DeLong, thank you. Team from all around the world, I appreciate you pouring in your time and your energy. If you have been inspired by Taskia, go tell your friends, go tell everyone, be a part of Real Life Trading. We're here to change the world and change how everyone views the stock market. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. And until next time, love life, live life, and trade it. Goodbye.
Good night.